Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile video. Guys, you asked me and I deliver. Earlier today, one of you left a comment asking me to do a tutorial on how to chain MK11 Sub-Zero Special 2, or in other words, how to lock characters into stun loop. Now, this will partially work in survival mode or in faction wars, because in a lot of cases, especially if you have MK11 Sub-Zero maxed out, the enemies will simply die to the first special one, right? However, if you have Sub-Zero at low fusion and you want to test him, you're free to go. Also, this will be kind of useful in towers against bosses, even though there's one big problem. In majority of cases, the bosses will resist your stun. I mean, almost every single boss in the game has some gear that gives him some resistance to all debuffs. So it is just a matter of how big his resistance are. I mean, is he going to resist every stun or once every 3 or 4 special tools? Anyways, in order to perform this, basically you don't rely a lot on talents, but there are certain talents that you will find useful. Of course, you want to have Thunderous Blow so that you can increase the special tool damage boost. However, it's not really the most important thing. Edenian Champion is pretty important because at level 5, it gives you 10% chance to get your special attack 2 for free. Also, since you're running Sub-Zero, you want a chance to snare them. If, for instance, the chain of special tools go wrong and you cannot stun, then it will be good to have weak point attacks so that you can almost guarantee that you will keep the boss power drained, stunned, snared, and frostbitten. That's really important. So those are the talents that you will require. Nothing special in the talent section, and now I'm going to show you how you can actually do it. Before we get into the footage, actually, let me quickly show you the items. Actually, there's one item in this tower that can possibly destroy your chaining, and this is the Varmint Lucky Hat. Reason being, at Fusion 10, look at this. All opponents' team characters need to collect 30% more power to fill up each power bar. So definitely this can mess up your strategy. You have to make sure that the boss doesn't have this thing on, maxed out. If he does, then almost 100% certain it won't work. The strategy won't work. And another thing that can mess you up is an enemy Nightwolf who is using the Eagle Spirit. If he uses the Eagle Spirit, he reduces your power generation by 30%. Probably there are other counters to this, but I cannot think of any at the moment. Now, let's focus on the strategy itself. MK11 Sub-Zero is not really the greatest fighter because he has huge gaps between his combos, and basically his recovery speed is horrible. Even though his punching speed is pretty fast, you can also interrupt the enemy basic attacks by starting yours. This is how fast he starts punching. However, the recovery speed from the previous combo is horrible. With that said, it is really easy to chain his special tool. As you can currently see, I am doing it with 2 items for power generation. The first one is, of course, you require something to reduce the power cost of special 2 in order to perform special 2 stun loop. And the best thing is, of course, Soul Medallion, because for one thing it reduces the power cost of special 2 and it also gives you power generation boost. And on top of that, I have the Bloody Voodoo Doll for some extra power generation, and this is my item setup. Do not forget that this is not going to be perfect. It is going to be perfect if you have a 3rd item for power generation. However, I'm demonstrating that it can be done without the 3rd item for power generation, even though it is not perfect. At certain situations, you just lack a little bit of power in order to change your special tool. So basically, a possible remedy for this is to have Nightwolf in your team, and then you can give yourself a little bit extra power by using Nightwolf Eagle Spirit. Or you can invest some time into grinding battle mode so that you can activate the power generation bonus Sub-Zero has in feats of strength. That is really important. I believe 4 or 6% will be pretty useful. 6% is quite something, guys, so definitely it will make the difference between stop the chaining and keep on doing the chaining. Anyways, probably you're seeing the footage by now of how to do it. I'm not doing it perfectly for 2 reasons. The first reason is, once again, I don't have enough power generation. Even though this is the fact, I can still chain it 2, 3, or even 4 times, but at some point when I have exactly 1 bar of power, I won't be able to get to another special tool, and that's a little bit of a problem. However, if you have Nightwolf, or if you have invested in your feats of strength, that should be fine. If this is not the case and you want to make sure that you keep on chaining your special tool, then you just equip Sub-Zero with a 3rd item for power generation, and you will be perfectly okay to go. You'll be all set. So by now, probably you figured it out. I want to apologize because Blue started lagging all the time. I really messed it up multiple occasions, but you now know what you have to do. You just do special 2, then you do one combo, cancel your combo ender, then you do another combo, and after the end of the second combo, just do another special 2. Basically, it has something to do with Fusion special 2 stun loop. It uses exactly the same strategy. Special 2, combo, cancel the combo ender, another combo, special 2. There isn't a big secret. Of course, you have to make sure that you're scoring more than 90% of the minigame. This is the tricky part. So this is the reason why I don't recommend trying this with MK11 Sub-Zero. You can do it, but it kind of, imagine if you have to do it for 2 minutes, definitely you're going to mess up once or twice. But if you have the weak point attacks, that would be cool, because you keep the enemy power drain stunned, snared, so they won't be able to tag out. But as you're currently seeing, in a lot of situations, Raiden is going to either resist the stun, or he's going to resist the frostbite, he's going to resist the power drain. So yeah, it doesn't really work flawlessly. You have to find a boss who has no resistance to the boss whatsoever, and then you're going to wreck him, by the way. It doesn't matter whether you don't have or you have some tower equipment. Basically, with this strategy, you don't even require block breaker. Once you lock the enemy in stun loop, you're good. So you can give him 3 items for power generation and 1 item to increase the damage. Let's say a tower weapon. That will be a little bit of an issue though, because in order to start going, you need to get to special 2 without dying. If the boss kills you before you get to your special 2, that would be a lot. That would be a lot of problem for you. So if I have to summarize, if you wanna use this strategy with 2 items for power generation, make sure that you upgrade your feats of strength power generation, or you have MK11 Knight within your team so that you can get some extra generation and be able to chain your special 2 without any problems in the process. Once again, if the enemy has resistance to stun or resistance to all debuffs, you will have issue doing it. So I would recommend going for the weak point attack so that you can snare the enemy, the boss, to make sure that he or she will not tag out if, for instance, at some point they resist successfully your stun. That's the biggest problem, resisting your stun, and trust me, this is going to happen. All in all, I'm not convinced that this is the best strategy to use. I'm just showing it to you so that you know it. At certain situations it can save you, but there are much better characters much easier characters to stun loop compared to MK11 Sub-Zero. The good thing is that his special 2 deals a lot of damage, so if you are really good on the minigame, if you're really selective on the items, you can destroy some bosses in towers. See you next time, guys. Take care.
Perfect.